Welcome to our Sports Pirates podcast. I'm Alex Rose.
And I'm Jimmy Stevenson. Let's get right to our topic today, Alex. There are two types of sports analysts, as we know. Those who have played professional athletics and those who haven't.
Yeah.
For example, of course, we have Deion Sanders, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Dan Marino on the baseball side, Nomar Garcia-Pera, and Big Time Michael Strahan.
Oh, my boy. But before we get ahead of ourselves, Jimmy, I have to ask you. Who, in your opinion, is the biggest sports nerd?
Wow. We're talking
Overall.
I'd have to say Adam Schefter on that one, for sure.
And I think a lot of people would agree with you. But the funny thing about Adam Schefter is when you look at him, you don't see him as somebody who was like a linebacker playing professional football. He actually had his background in journalism after graduating from the University of Michigan and before he had his cameo appearance on ESPN in 2004 Around the Horn and Sports Reporters.
Didn't he also go to grad school?
Yeah, he actually he went to Northwestern University's School of Journalism. So it really just goes to show that you don't necessarily have to play the sport to analyze it. And Schefter himself has really marked this niche in the sports world as the go-to guy for sports breaking news and injury updates. And so, like I said, you don't need to have walked the walk to talk the talk.
Hey, good way of putting it. And I think you mentioned it yourself there with sports breaking news. I know a lot of people follow him on Twitter and are looking for those breaking news stuff on Twitter. So, you know, I would agree with you. Schefter's the real deal. He knows his stuff. And no, he did not play professional athletics. But the real question we want to address here is, what are the benefits now of being a pro athlete, right, who became an analyst? Now, and does that help or hurt the integrity of the game?
Now,
That's what we're looking at.
for me, I like having the history of the sport right there at the table. I mean, on credibility alone, people will listen to what these athletes have to say because of their experience, because they have lived the life and breathed it for a career, and they have talked the talk. Now, this doesn't necessarily just apply for athletes on the desk. It could go and apply itself to down on the field when it comes to former athletes interviewing athletes.
Yeah, I like what you say there. And, you know, you think, grab somebody like Chad Ochocinco.
Oh, Ochocinco.
You know, that reaction right there, somebody who some people would say is a loose cannon at
A
times.
little bit of a head case.
But, hey, you bring in Deion Sanders, immediate respect from Ochocinco towards Deion Sanders, right? Because that's a guy who's been on the gridiron, just like Ochocinco is now, fighting similar battles on the field. So Ochocinco has that immediate respect for Deion Sanders.
Yeah, much more respect than he would have for some Joe who just knows his X's and O's.
Certainly. Well, I think we have a clip here of Ochocinco and Deion Sanders in an interview, so let's take a look at that.
Let's take a look.
Oh, there it is. Hugging, Prime. There it is.
Take it away, Prime. You're on. Go for it.
You go.
I'm proud of you.
I've been good all year. Don't hurt me now.
No. You've been great all year.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I'm proud of you. As a man, as my little brother, you know I remember when.
Yeah?
And I'm proud of you. Has it been tough on you?
No, not really.
Emotionally?
No. No, because if it was tough on me, if it was emotionally draining, I think I would have spoke out like I would have done in the past.
Right.
I took this as a challenge, as a lesson. I think it was a test from you-know-who upstairs. You know, will he be able to handle
who he is.
God?
There you go.
Will he be able to handle himself the right way in different circumstances when he's not that guy, when he's not that main focal point? Will he be able to handle it? And I think I did extremely well.
Wow, well, looking at that clip right there, again, you saw it. Sanders was able to elicit something out of Ochocinco that, like you said earlier, your average Joe who knows his X's and O's might not have been able to, because that immediate respect, they both played the game or are playing. Now, on the flip side here, there are some shows out there who want to use former athletes with big personalities to excite and grab the attention of their audience and then use that as a source of entertainment.
Oh, goodness.
I see something's boiling in your mind already. What's up?
That it is. right when you say that, what comes to mind for me is TNT's Inside the NBA.
Yep.
You have two colossal personalities between Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley. And when you get those two pals in the same room together, there's no stopping them. It's an explosion of comedic relief. Now, don't get me wrong. They are both credible players, both Hall of Famers. Barkley played on indisputably the greatest basketball team of all time.
92 in ATL.
The Dream Team. And then you have Shaq, who has 4 championships underneath his belt. But with the two of them, their goofiness at times can take away from the point of the show itself.
You know what? Say no more there, Alex. It's funny you say that, actually, because I think SNL would have a similar point of view as you on that one. So let's take a look of their interpretation of TNT's Inside the NBA. This is SNL's look.
It's not. Come on, now why do you guys hate talking about basketball so much?
Because we played basketball. We don't want to talk about it. It would be like you talking about shopping for ugly ties.
Now, at least get your predictions for the late game.
I have a prediction. If I am the great Shaqradamus,
Who's giving them all these props?
I will predict that Charles Barkley gonna be fat again. He'll be so fat, he'll star in Fat Free Willy 2. First of all, dummy, there was already a Free Willy 2. But I'd rather be in Free Willy 2 than Kazam 1.
Now, clearly that is a little bit embellished.
But is it, though?
Actually, maybe it's pretty accurate. In fact, I have seen Shaq rocking the Gandalf beard and the wizard's cap, but in this media industry, sometimes that's what you have to do. It is, after all about the ratings.
Yeah,
and so if that means bringing 2 legendary, iconic figures onto your show, then so be it.
You know what? I see what you're saying there, Alex, but I don't know. I'd have to disagree at times, because for me, it really is about the solid sports content. And when I see a clip like that, you know, sure, it's funny, but I don't feel that informed. So how about we take a look at the real Inside the NBA with both Shaq and Barkley? Let's take a look at this one.
Aaron Brooks. Who does Aaron Brooks play for?
You done forgot where
This is the last one.
He was in Phoenix last year.
He should know, because you live in Phoenix. You can probably track where he has been.
No.
All right, Charles, who you got?
Yeah.
He's either playing in China or Japan.
China or Japan. We need to
That's
be
not the name of the
more
team.
specific.
Guangdong Tigers. Ni hao! Ni hao! Ni hao! Victory lap! Victory lap!
And sure, a clip like that is funny, but what about the sports, the essential material, the needs to know? Now, don't get me wrong, I like a peanut butter and fluff sandwich, but not when it comes to sports. They're feeding me fluff here, Alex, all right?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you there.
And hey, if they keep clowning around, the true sports enthusiasts will be begging for some meat, my man.
Oh, well, there you have it, folks. I mean, we've looked at the credibility of former well-known athletes as analysts, and we've mentioned the potential downfalls of having them as analysts. But until next time, I'm Alex Rose.
And I'm Jimmy Stevenson. Thanks for joining us on today's Sports Pirates Podcast. Arrgh. This is terrible. Slap that dude.